Hello, my name is Callie Shawhan, and I am a sophomore at the University of Arkansas. I am majoring in biology and plan to go to medical school. Let's head on over to Crystal Bridges Museum of Art in Bentonville to see one of George Segal's world-renowned sculptures. Three people on four benches captures an everyday image of people. This sculpture stretches 12 feet horizontally, and the figures sitting on the benches are life-size. George Segal became one of the most well-known sculptors in the pop art movement during the 1960s. Segal's first successful sculptures were inspired by a student bringing dry plaster bandages to his class. The bandages were the same material used in orthopedics to make a cast that would help reset a bone. Segal was the first artist to introduce this as a medium, and thus he created the plaster cast style. Segal captured the ideology of the pop art movement when he said, "For me to decide to make a cast of human being broke all the rules of fine art." Other famous sculptures of his include The Diner, Depression Breadline, and his very first plaster cast, Man at a Table. They all use pieces of the real environment to show contrast with the white figure. These three people are made of bronze covered in white patina to resemble the original plaster cast that Segal used. The shapes reflect the true shape of the human body. The face is not very detailed, but rather generalized. This allows observers to relate to the figures and connect to the artwork rather than stay removed from its influence. The way each person is sitting in a relaxed position adds to the naturalistic style and gives movement to the artwork. The figures seem as if they could just get up any minute. These life-size sculptures resemble average, common people as they would appear in real life. Segal uses certain elements to emphasize the deeper meaning of his artwork. Lines are used to show a solemn expression. There seems to be no balance of the artwork. Even the name, Three People on Four Benches, gives the first impression of imbalance. There is also a recurring theme of contradiction in the artwork. White figures sit against black benches. The benches lie in a horizontal plane while the people give the sculpture verticality. The figures appear rough and worn down, while the benches are smooth and perfectly constructed. Each of these are distinctive of Segal's creations. Three People on Four Benches shows the loneliness and tensions of modern-day life. It represents the paradoxical relationship of feeling alone, yet being surrounded by people. The figures do not engage in conversation or connect with one another. Segal forces observers to become an active participant and think of how this scene applies to themselves. Placing this artwork in a public setting draws attention to the pattern of behavior. The relationship between the people on the bench is eerily relatable for those passing by and brings the problem to the surface. I like that Segal's art was able to make a person evaluate their own lives rather than just the life of the artwork. Segal was very good at capturing the human condition in his sculptures and showing hidden, raw emotions that each person deals with at some point in his life. He brought buried emotions to the surface that often are not talked about by people. He perfectly captured humanness, and I believe this is what made his artwork so special.